English Premier League Match Day 34 pre-games analysis. Watch this video till the end and you tell me what you think down in the comment section, because this particular weekend is a weekend that we all have been waiting for. It is in this weekend that we all are going to see who is going to play the UEFA Champions League next season, who might play the UEFA Champions League next season, who might play the Europa League next season, who might play the Conference League next season, because at this point in time, nothing is certain yet. And when you take a look at the Premier League table, right, you discover that Liverpool, who are the current champions, they were crowned champions already last week after getting the win against Tottenham, and they will receive their first guard of honor this weekend on Sunday against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, right? When you take a look at the Premier League table, you discover that Liverpool is still at the top of the table with 71 points, with 82 points, followed by Arsenal with 67 points. We'll have Newcastle occupying the third spot. We'll have Manchester City occupying the fourth spot. We'll have Chelsea the fifth spot, Nottingham Forest the seventh spot, and Aston Villa of Unai Emery the eighth spot with 57 points. That is just to tell you that there is a spot in this Premier League table that we are still fighting for. We don't know who is going to occupy that spot yet, because 5 Premier League clubs are needed to play the UEFA Champions League next season. And there is a high probability that one of these clubs that are playing the Europa League, either Manchester United or Tottenham, will also play the UEFA Champions League next season. And if it happens, it means that 6 Premier League clubs will be represented in the UEFA Champions League next season. The first games of the day, that is Friday, we'll have games that we play today, Friday, Premier League. We'll have Manchester City versus Wolverhampton. We'll have games that we played on Saturday. We'll have games that we played on Sunday. And we'll have a single game that we played on Monday. Now, guys, let's take a look at the games one after the other. Manchester City versus Wolverhampton. This game will be played at exactly 8 o'clock. And when you take a look at the stats of these two clubs, right, you discover that Manchester City won 4 of their last 5 games. They shared points once in their last 5 games. And Wolverhampton have not witnessed a single defeat in their last 5 games. They won 5 of their last 5 games. And the last victory came against Manchester United. And they are going to play Pep Guardiola today, 8 o'clock. With these statistics, guys, who do you think can be considered favorite to get a win in this particular game? Because Manchester City needs a win in this game more than Wolverhampton. Pep Guardiola and Manchester City needs these 3 points because they want to play the UEFA Champions League next season. And there is no way Wolverhampton will play the UEFA Champions League next season, even if they win the rest of the games that are left for them to play. So it is a game must win for Pep Guardiola. And with the starts of this Wolverhampton, with the offensive strength, what formation, what tactics are you expecting to see Pep Guardiola come in this game with? Because it is not going to be an easy game. It is like a final before the end of the season. Pep Guardiola needs these 3 points. Pep Guardiola needs these 3 points. And what do you think Pep Guardiola needs to do to get all these 3 points and stand a chance to play the UEFA Champions League next season? When you even take a look at the last 5 head-to-head, you discover that Manchester City won Wolverhampton 4 good times. Wolverhampton won Manchester City just 1 time. So all the chances, all the statistics are showing that Manchester City are considered favorite to win this game. But is that going to be applicable on the pitch? That is something that I cannot answer now. And when you take a look at the Saturday's fixture, right, discover that Aston Villa is playing Fulham on Saturday, Everton is playing Ipswich on Saturday, Leicester City is playing Southampton on Saturday, Arsenal is playing Bournemouth on Saturday as well. When you take a look at this game of Aston Villa versus Fulham, you discover that it is going to be another tough game for Unai Emery, because when you take a look at the last 5 games of Aston Villa, you discover that they had 3 wins, 2 defeats in their last 5 games. Fulham had 2 wins, 3 defeats in their last 5 games. And when you go head-to-head, you discover that Aston Villa won Fulham 5 good times in their last 5 head-to-head. So with these statistics, Aston Villa can be considered favorite to get a win over Fulham. But this is just on the sheet of paper. Is that applicable on the pitch? You know, football like this is somehow different. We analyze it before a game, and your analysis before a game is actually different from what will happen in the game. So guys, let me know what you think down in the comment section concerning this game, because it is not going to be easy. Unai Emery are currently sitting at the 8th spot of the Premier League table. They need these 3 points to get 60 points and see if Nottingham Forest will get a win this weekend, or if Chelsea will get a win this weekend. Because if Aston Villa win this game, Nottingham Forest don't win their game, Chelsea don't win their game, then there is a high probability that Aston Villa might move to the 5th spot of the Premier League table. So it is a game must win for Aston Villa as well. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section concerning this game, your tactics, your formation, that you expect Unai Emery to come in this game with. And now another game of the day is Everton versus Ipswich Town. This is a game between a club that is in form against a club that is already been relegated. Ipswich Town is now a championship club. They are just playing the Premier League because the Premier League season is not yet over. And after 4 games, they'll be moving back to the championship. We'll have another game of the day, Leicester City versus Southampton. All of these clubs are actually preparing how they'll play the championship next season. I don't think this is a Premier League game. The both of these two clubs are all relegated. So a win or no win will not change anything for them. Arsenal versus Bournemouth. This is a game for Michael Arteta and his boys to prepare for the Paris Saint-Germain game. Remember, Michael Arteta have a score to settle with Paris Saint-Germain. Paris Saint-Germain won them in London on Tuesday, 1-0. And Pep Guardiola and Michael Arteta will need to prepare his player against this game. Michael Arteta is no more focused on the Premier League because everything have already been given to Liverpool, and at this point in time, it is certain that Arsenal is going to rest some players tomorrow against Bournemouth. Arsenal is occupying the second spot of the Premier League table with 67 points, playing against Bournemouth with occupying the 10th spot with 50 points. And when you take a look at the last 5 games of Arsenal, you see them having 2 wins, 2 draws, and 1 defeat in their last 5 games. Bournemouth had just 1 win, 3 draws, and 1 defeat in the last 5 games. So guys, who do you think can be considered favorite to win this game? Remember, no matter who wins this game, will not change anything. I think if Bournemouth wants to play the Conference League, then they should win Arsenal tomorrow, because when they win Arsenal tomorrow, there is a high chance for them that they will finish among those that will play the Conference League for next season. And now when you take a look at the games that we played on Sunday, that is Brentford versus Manchester United, Brighton versus Newcastle, West Ham versus Tottenham, Chelsea versus Liverpool, you discover that all the interesting Premier League games this weekend are going to be played on Sunday. Brentford versus Manchester United is a game not to miss. Remember, Manchester United won a game yesterday in the Europa League semi-finals against Atletico Bilbao, 3-0, and this is another game for them to prepare for the second leg. Brentford is in form. Brentford also won Nottingham Forest yesterday. And now they are occupying the 11th spot of the Premier League table with 49 points, playing against Manchester United, occupying the 14th spot of the Premier League table with 39 points. When you take a look at the last 5 games of Brentford, it's that they had 2 wins, 2 draws, and 1 defeat in the last 5 games. Manchester United had 2 wins, 1 draw, and 2 defeat in the last 5 games. So with this result, with these statistics, who do you think can be considered favorite to win this game between Brentford versus Manchester United? And what formation and tactics are you expecting from Ruben Amorim to play in this game with? Because they need to prepare players to defend their 3 goals at Old Trafford next Thursday against Atletico Bilbao. Will have Brighton versus Newcastle. This is another game must win for Newcastle if they want to play the UEFA Champions League next season. They occupy the 3rd spot of the Premier League table with 62 points, play against Brighton, occupying the 9th spot of the Premier League table with just 51 points. The season is actually getting tougher and tougher for Brighton, and they need to fight this game beat after beat. You get, this is a game must win for Newcastle. Like I said, when you take a look at the last 5 games of Brighton, it's quite that they had 1 win, 1 draw, and 3 defeats in the last 5 games. Newcastle had 4 wins and a single defeat in the last 5 games. So with these stats, right, who do you think can be considered favorite to win this game? And what formation, tactics, strategies are you expecting from Newcastle if they want to win this game against Brighton and stand a chance to play the UEFA Champions League next season? We'll have West Ham versus Tottenham. This is another game for Tottenham to prepare for the Europa League semi-finals. That's the returning leg against Bodo Glimt. This is another game for Tottenham to just prepare their players. I think whether they win or they lose the game, it does not change anything. So all they need to do in this game is to keep the momentum, rest the players, because they have a bigger game to play ahead, which is the Europa League semi-final. And the final Premier League game of the day is Chelsea versus Liverpool. Guys, this is the game of the weekend. All eyes are on this game. There is nothing to lose or gain in this game. The only thing in this game is that Chelsea should win this game and get the 3 points. But one thing is that Liverpool are crowned the Premier League champions, and their first game, they would like to win and celebrate their title in the normal way, right? Chelsea is going to give Liverpool a guard of honor at Stamford Bridge. At Stamford Bridge. It's not any other pitch. At Stamford Bridge, in front of their whole public on Sunday at 8 o'clock. That is a game also not to miss, guys. And if I'm to predict all these games from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'll give Manchester City a win over Wolverhampton. I'll give Aston Villa a win over Fulham. I'll give Everton a win over Ipswich Town. Leicester City versus Southampton, anyone can win. I don't care because it does not change anything. Arsenal versus Bournemouth, I'll give Bournemouth a high chance of winning this game because Michael Arteta will be resting his players. Michael Arteta have nothing to lose or gain in this game, so he will normally be resting some of his players. Brentford versus Manchester United, I'll give Brentford a chance to win because Ruben Amorim and Manchester United will have nothing to lose or gain in this game. So all they need to do is to keep the momentum, rest their players, and because they have a bigger game to play against Atletico Bilbao at Old Trafford on Thursday. And this other game, Brighton versus Newcastle, for no doubt, give Newcastle a win. West Ham Tottenham, I can give West Ham a high chance of winning Tottenham because Tottenham will actually be resting their players. They just want to keep the momentum because they have a semi-final returning leg to play in the days ahead. Chelsea versus Liverpool. Liverpool, this is the only tournament that they are left with this season. They have won the tournament already, and they will want to play their first game after the glory in a nice way. So I'll give Liverpool a win over Chelsea. Let me know what you think down in the comment section, guys. As you can see, HT Football TV, this channel is still very fresh. I am still having 8 subscribers, and I would appreciate if you can also subscribe me, and I am open for corrections, right? If you can say anything that you think can help me do better, drop it down in the comment section, and I will highly appreciate. May God bless you, and see you until my next video.